SEC delays the Bitcoin ETF decision for Hashdex, a crypto asset management firm, one of the many firms applying for a Bitcoin spot ETF. The SEC decision date for Hashdex is now January 1st, 2024. We see much of the final deadlines being in March 2024. So we will see some more turbulence in Bitcoin price going into the new year. Stick around for an important chart pattern which could lead to Bitcoin dropping even further. The free Intrendias terminal has been lagging Bitcoin in terms of performance. Intrendias is up 17% on the coin, offering free, simple buy and sell signals along with machine learning price forecasting. Massive amounts of sell signals have appeared for Bitcoin, most recently November 13th. The price forecast option uses linear regression and GARC machine learning models to provide a price forecast for the next 90 days. Here we see a bearish scenario for Bitcoin marking 32.7 as the price target. The decision delay for Hashdex, we saw Bitcoin fall 4% on November 16th. We could continue to see such falls in price with every delay. Year to date, Bitcoin is up 118%. With such excitement in the potential ETF, Bitcoin may be pricing in an approval a bit too early. Thus far, some ETF applications faced delays and all faced rejections. Here are the firms that had a Bitcoin ETF application and faced rejection, such as Global X, Krypton, One River, Galaxy Digital, etc. Now, here are the firms with active spot ETF applications today. These include some of the big names, and here's where we see things stand out. I'm seeing more familiar, traditional, established names like Fidelity and WisdomTree. However, the name that stands out the most is BlackRock. The big boy joined the playground with the little guys. And if BlackRock, the world's largest asset management company, is playing the Bitcoin spot ETF game, then they must know something that we do not. They must know that the risk and potential high gain they can achieve with a Bitcoin spot ETF. And those benefits must be outweighing the risks and upfront costs. A Bitcoin spot ETF would benefit Bitcoin because the spot ETF will own actual Bitcoins, unlike a Bitcoin futures ETF, since futures involve two parties agreeing to exchange a stock or crypto on a specific day at a certain price and quantity in the future, hence the name futures. With the spot ETF holding actual Bitcoin, this increased liquidity and thus could decrease volatility, increase accessibility for investors to invest in Bitcoin, increasing price and volume traded. Now let's go in and check out the technical analysis section and look at the chart patterns. With Bitcoin, I am seeing RSI divergence happen again for the crypto. The best example is back in January, we saw a higher highs Bitcoin price along with a lower highs in the RSI. This ultimately resulted in a 20% drop in Bitcoin back in March 2023. With this historic play, we could see this occur for Bitcoin. This bearish movement can occur because of the higher highs that we're seeing in Bitcoin price today. Following a RSI divergence with lower highs on the RSI reading, we could see Bitcoin continue to drop and potentially be supported once again by this orange support level. Mixing the MACD line with the RSI, we've seen the RSI divergence, and then afterwards we would see the MACD line cross in a bearish pattern. And what I mean by that is we see back in January, we see MACD cross the signal in a bearish way, and this also has occurred most recently as of November 7th, and we could see this similar price action to the downside happen once again. Finally, the chart pattern that I found super interesting and that's developing right here, right now, is an inverted cup and handle chart pattern where we essentially see a hump in the Bitcoin price followed by a handle, which is a straight move to the upside, which can be read as a bearish candlestick chart pattern here, where essentially we could see Bitcoin continue to fall in price, as we've already seen happen because of the delay in the Hashdex SEC ruling, down 5% for the most of the day, followed by a short little uptrend, not enough to save the losses of November 16th. But we could see some further downside in the short term because of these bearish signals. The RSI divergence, the MACD line bearish crossover, followed by, all on top, a inverse bearish cup and handle chart pattern in the 1 hour interval. The RSI and MACD are in the day interval. Ultimately, we may just need to revert back and look at the long-term trends and long-term goals that we have as investors. With the Bitcoin halving occurring, I believe, around April of 2024, we need to look back on a larger scope and consider the dynamics that the halving is going to have. Supply and demand dynamics must be considered. The basic economic principle of supply and demand plays a significant role coming April 2024. With the halving and the issuance of new Bitcoins is decreased, the reduction of supply will help the price of Bitcoin, assuming demand remains constant or increases. With the halving, it supports the narrative of digital gold. Bitcoin is often referred to as digital gold because, like gold, there is a capped supply. As the issuance of new Bitcoin slows down with each halving, the narrative of Bitcoin as a scarce asset strengthens. Scarcity tends to be positively correlated with value, and this perception of scarcity can attract investors seeking assets with a hedge against inflation and economic uncertainty. Let's look at historical price trends. If you looked at historical price charts, Bitcoin has experienced price rallies in the months and years following previous halvings, such as the famous rainbow chart. While past performance is not indicative of future results, some investors and analysts use historic trends as a reference point, like here at Intrendias, market perception and speculation. The anticipation of a halving event itself can influence market sentiment. Traders and investors might anticipate potential price increases, like seeing it in historical prices, and buy Bitcoin in advance, leading to a demand-driven price surge. And then finally, the media attention and public awareness because of the halving could increase Bitcoin being in the minds of investors and can contribute to demand. So considering that a spot ETF Bitcoin could be right around the corner in March 2024, plus we are seeing a halving event occurring March or April 2024, which historically has provided us a surge in Bitcoin prices because of the demand and supply play that's happening with every halving. Perhaps it's time to scope out into a more long-term picture and consider the bought and held strategy and maybe add to positions when there's dips. However, of course, not financial advice, and every investor has their own journey, whether you're short-term or long-term. I would love to hear your thoughts on Bitcoin, if you're in it or if you're not, if you're on the benches or if you're all in. Love to hear what your thoughts are about Bitcoin. Thank you for watching Intrendias and using the Intrendias terminal. If you like this video, if you like the info in it, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out the channel and it's free, so can't beat that. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time, and I will see you guys in the next one.